So, in one short week, Nod-Krai arrives with the version 6.0 banners, and your very first choice might decide your next several months of pulling. Spend in the wrong place, and you watch a dream team drift away. Spend in the right place, and you set up a smooth run through a brand new region. That is the whole point of today. I am going to help you make that first decision with clear, calm reasoning so your primo gems work for you instead of against you. Before we start, thank you so much for 13,000 subscribers. Thank you for every comment and every like, and it really does push the channel forward. We are inching closer to that next goal of 15,000, and I appreciate you being here for the ride. Let us set the table. Phase 1 pairs Nahida and Llama as the 5-star headliners. The 4-star roster running with them is Kaveh, Kuki, and Barbara. At the same time, we get a Sumeru Chronicled Wish, a greatest hits selection that brings Deha, Al-Haytham, Wanderer, Sino, Nilo, and Tinary back into reach with their signature weapons. That is a lot of temptation in one window, and it is easy to feel pulled in 5 directions at once. The best way to keep your sanity is to anchor your plan to how you actually like to play, and then look at value that will last across Nod-Krai. Let us talk about the 2 headliners first, because most of you will decide between them. Nahida is still one of the strongest Dendro units in the entire game. She amplifies teams, she multiplies damage over time with clean, wide application, and she makes reaction teams feel stable even when your rotation is messy. If you do not own her, she is a priority. I say that gently and honestly. She solves problems for new accounts, and she keeps solving them for veteran accounts. She is not just a number, she is glue that holds teams together when you are learning new mechanics or when you are rushing weekly content. If you are the type who wants one pull that grows with you, Nahida is that pull. Llama is the new toy with real depth, and that sentence is not an insult. New does not always mean unstable. Llama introduces the Lunar Bloom mechanic, which is a fresh rule set layered onto the Bloom system you already know. Think of it like this. Your party builds up a shared resource through Bloom reactions, then Llama converts that resource into clean, satisfying bursts of power that the whole team benefits from. She lowers Dendro and Hydro resistance to keep the machine rolling, and she still carries her own damage, so you do not feel like you brought a pure buff bot. If you enjoy the feeling of a party that ramps, spends, and ramps again, Llama is a very strong pick with future value. She also fits the mood of Nod-Krai, where lunar reactions are not a side dish but a main course. If you already own Nahida and you want to explore this new lane in a serious way, Llama is a great place to aim. What about the 4 stars on the banner? Kaveh is lovable, but he is more niche, and he is not the piece that unlocks late-game comfort for most accounts. Kuki is different. She is a very good healer and a reliable hyper-bloom enabler. If you like teams that keep doing damage while you dodge, she is wonderful to build, and she feels great to use when content hits harder. Barbara is a familiar face and still a friendly early game healer, but for late game, she usually sits on the bench unless you love her specifically. If your 4-star luck pulls you toward Kuki, that is a win. If your 4-star luck pulls you toward Barbara, treat it as a collection bonus and keep your focus on the 5-star goal. Now let us walk over to the Sumeru Chronicled Wish, because this is where many players get lost. Deha, Al-Haytham, Wanderer, Sino, Nilo, and Tinary are all back together with their signature weapons. The smart way to think about this banner is not as a candy store, but as a tool chest. Deha is more niche, but she can be fun in burning teams if you enjoy that style. Al-Haytham is a pretty strong main damage dealer who rewards practice and careful building. Wanderer is also a strong main damage dealer who really wakes up when you invest in Faruzan, and yes, that usually means a very high constellation Faruzan for best results. Sino sits in a similar zone, very solid when his team is set up correctly. All 3 can carry you if you love their feel, but they are not the absolute wildest options in the game today. The truth is that newer units like Chaska, Chlorand, and Kinich have set higher benchmarks for raw output and comfort. Nod-Krai will likely push that even further with names like Nefer and Varka on the horizon, so think with a long view. Nilo remains the Queen of Bloom. She is simple to learn, and she has that special joy factor where the screen erupts and you cannot help but smile. You can actually test her right now in Imaginarium Theater. That is a gift. Try her in live combat. Feel the timing. See if the rhythm fits your hands before you commit in version 6.0. Tighnari is still strong, but he often feels like a lighter version of Alhaitham in practice. If you just want that type of Dendro carry and you like his aim shot flow, he is a fine pick. If you want the higher ceiling and you are willing to practice, Alhaitham usually wins. A quick, fair word on the weapon side. The Chronicled Wish weapon lineup is strong not only because it suits the featured characters, but because many of these signatures are excellent all-round choices that lift a wide range of units. Their stats and passives are flexible. Think crit rate, crit damage, or elemental mastery, and that means one pull can upgrade several teams, not just a single showcase hero. If you already own the character and your Primo Gems plan is healthy, then looking at this weapon banner makes real sense, since a single great weapon can serve Alhaitham or Tighnari today, and still find a home on newer carries like Chaska or Chlorin tomorrow. If you are free to play or on a tight budget, think carefully and only then consider a weapon if it clearly upgrades teams you already play. So who should you prioritize in Phase 1? If you do not have Nahida, make her your first choice. She is a long-term investment that keeps paying across regions, team styles, and future updates. If you do have Nahida and you want to engage with Lunar Bloom in a way that feels designed for Nod-Krai, Llama is your best path. If you are curious about the Chronicled Wish, decide whether you want a carry that rewards team building, like Alhaitham or Wanderer, or a plug and play Bloomstar like Nilo. If none of those pull at your heart, and you know you want to chase Nefer, Varka, Durin, or other Nod-Krai debuts, it is okay to skip Phase 1 and wait. Skipping is not losing. Skipping is training discipline for the banner you really want. There is also the practical question of 4 stars and account needs. If you lack a stable healer who can keep up damage while you move, Kuki is a great value add, and she pairs nicely with both old and new reaction teams. If you already have that slot covered and you are hunting only the 5-star, set a personal pity cap and do not chase every sparkle. It is very easy to toss a few extra wishes at a Chronicled Wish because the grid looks shiny, and then wake up short on the character you actually wanted. Make a plan, write it in the comments for accountability if you like, and follow it. If you want me to do a full breakdown for the second phase banners, tell me in the comments. I will put it together so you have the same clarity before you decide again. I hope this made your first decision easier and gave you a plan you can actually follow. Tell me in the comments who your priority is for Phase 1, whether you are going for Nahida, Llama, or a very specific pick from the Sumeru Chronicled Wish. Thank you again for helping the channel reach 13,000. Every share and every thoughtful comment helps us move toward 15,000, and it really means a lot. If this helped you breathe a little easier, tap like, consider subscribing so you do not miss the follow-up, and good luck on your polls. I will see you in Nod-Krai with a cup of tea and a backpack full of Primo Gems, ready to make the next choice together.